So, we got Starscream and Hotshot and Legacy, Optimus and Megatron in Evolution, and Tidal Wave in United. So where the hell was Jetfire? I want my flying pants for Optimus Prime. Come on, Hasbro, I thought we were here to collect. No, it's fine. I get it, you don't like us. I guess you don't want money. I guess you don't want to be the best company in the world. But the other character was Red Alert. I mean, he was a breakout character for Armada, the no-nonsense chief science officer that was such a friendly face for the kids to look up to in the show, despite not having any optics. He had a visor. And the old toy has aged not fantastically. So, how did his new one turn out? I'm happy to say that it turned out fantastic. Age of the Primes came out swinging. And by some weird miracle, they made figures that made me want to buy the entire wave. There goes my paycheck. But anyway, here's his car mode, and it's pretty good. This is exactly what I expected. An off-road search and rescue emergency SUV. Kinda like Bay vs. Ratchet. The official vehicle they picked was a Nissan Patrol, which is definitely able to be seen here. And it's seen very well on the original as well. What? You didn't think we'd go without at least a few comparisons, did you? The old one's lifted up a bit more, but other than that, the new one really embodies the spirit of this. But this one is noticeably lower. Maybe Weston Champlin got a hold of it and was like, too much lift, let's knock it down. But detailing wise, it's an excellent update, bringing back several things that were staples on the original, like the red tint to the windshield and windows. Like that was something they didn't have to do and they did it anyway. Also, they painted in the headlights with the little recessed strips that are on the original. I didn't expect that at all. And get this, they decided the running lights or signal lights there should be a separate piece and made them translucent. What an upgrade! On the original, they were just painted. That's crazy. On the sides, you'll notice no red cross, but instead, the medical crest with an Autobot logo. This is because nobody but the Red Cross is allowed to use it, and if you do, it's a war crime, which I think is just absolutely hilarious. It is an absolute hoot that the Red Cross are the only ones that are allowed to use it, because they're the ones that decide to call you every time and be like, "Hello, this is the American Red Cross. We noticed it's been 90 days since your last donation. In retaliation, we shall be burning down your house and killing your family unless you donate more blood. Thank you for your cooperation." And then on top, you've got his light bar and rack. So iconic. Of course, there's no lights and sound to speak of, and you'll also notice there's a Minicon port with no Minicon. David, do we want to talk about this right now? Okay, I guess we are. So, Minicons just don't come with these guys. You know, it would be nice to see them considering the fact that these figures are a bit smaller, no gimmick, no transformation, but apparently we gotta sit through a live stream and wait to see exclusives for PulseCon and get a repaint of a figure that already has issues just to get one Minicon for any of them. One Minicon. They give us one Minicon and it was a PulseCon exclusive. Come on! I guess they don't want our money with their $1 million company having asses. You can't throw in a few bucks just for us to get a little wee man who turns into a fucking crane? No? Come on, Hasbro. When I pay for Armada updates, I'm paying for the full Armada experience. Well, besides the spring-loaded gimmicks and, you know what I mean. David, don't look at me like that. I don't pay you for technicalities. If not having a Minicon makes your blood pressure go through the roof, luckily the posts are the same diameter as the original, so it quells the anger a little bit. I said, a little. This ain't over, Hasbro. This ain't over, Chris Cox. Wait, David, who else can I blame at Hasbro or Takara for this? Here, let's see. Oh, yeah. This isn't over, Gina from accounting. Ha! Got him! Another thing you can do is flip out his cannon like on the original, except it's not initiated by the Minicon. Damn it. And of course, there's no lights and sound feature anymore. That's what this guy is for. Except this thing has no batteries because I can't seem to find any right now. I mean, yeah, it's a meme, but I mean, you're not missing much. All he does is go, "Weevil, weevil, weevil!" And lastly, he rolls pretty good. Now, transformation on this guy is pretty good. It's a lot like the... Transformation on this guy is pretty good. It's a lot like the original, so let's get into it. First thing you want to do, unclip just kind of everything, really. You just kind of pull the sides off here, pull the sides off there, and now we're in business. Now you just fold down what will become the midsection and the legs, fold out the feet, fold out the feet, and then what you're going to do is unfold the doors, open the doors up like that, and that'll reveal the arms. You fold up that arm, fold out this arm, and then you want to fold up that back piece. Really wish the original had this back piece. It would get rid of this like giant gap that's on the back of it here, as you can see right there. That's a little bit annoying, but oh well, 2000s figure. What are you going to do? You're going to fold down the back piece, and it should just kind of rest there tightly like that. And then what you're going to do is open the hood, and then this one part is very difficult. I've been dealing with this since I bought the figure last weekend, and it's a little difficult to get out of there, but you can just kind of work it, and then it'll finally come out. And then fold this piece in, push the head back a little further, and then fold that down, and then you can just adjust the arms as you see fit, like that, and get it nice and turned around, where the elbows facing the right direction. And then the last difficult part is to get these heel pieces out, even though you really don't need them because his feet are that solid already. But yeah, and then the last thing you want to do is take his little doodad piece, and plug that in, and there you go. That is a very good transformation to robot mode for this guy. Really, really enjoy it. In robot mode, he is very much looking like his original counterpart. Of course, way more proportionate this time. The original was chunky with the vehicle mode parts, but all the limbs were super long. It was like Victor Wembanyama put on a cardboard box. It's not a bad toy, it's just a bit jank. But that's literally the entire premise of Armada, so cuckoo cuckoo, whatever. But thankfully on this version, that's not the case. This is way more proportionate and accurate to how the character is in the show. I have always loved Red Alert's design in Armada. I think it's vastly superior to his G1 counterpart, even though that one came first. But all the while, this design seemed very familiar to me. I couldn't quite put my finger on it until I kinda looked at it a little more, and then it finally hit me.
What are your prime directives?
Serve the public trust, protect the innocent, uphold the law.
I cannot believe it took me this long to notice this guy was referencing RoboCop with his design. I loved that movie as a kid. It's such an iconic 80s flick. Speaking of the design, the head is probably the most unique part about him. It might be very RoboCop in design, but it still stands out as its own thing. He's also got the medical cross molded in, but this time it's technically not a war crime because it's not painted red, so cancels out, I guess? Also, my friends think he's got big thighs for some reason, but I mean, it's pretty obvious why those are there. Yeah, right, exactly. Color-wise, it's a lot of the stuff from vehicle mode, except now there's more blue exposed, which is a very nice shade. I think it's better than the original one. Also, it's worth mentioning that the stock photos lie through their teeth. We don't get that extra hand like we originally thought. This was a marketing tool geared towards
the casuals.
Yeah, so everyone that thought this guy was going to have two hands from the stock photos, just so we could have a symmetrical Red Alert for once, here's the thing. If a casual consumer sees what looks to be an unfinished figure that they're trying to buy for their kid or themselves, they're not going to say,
I'd buy that for $1.
They're going to say, oh, fuck this shit. I don't work 40 hours a week at Home Depot to come over here and buy a half-assed action figure that's missing pieces. Tough titties, Johnny 6-year-old. You ain't getting that shit no more. You're going to get a Skibbity Toilet blind box figure. Yeah. See, lucky for us, we aren't casuals, so we know the truth. We know what's going on. But nevertheless, let this be a lesson to all that honesty isn't always the best policy. With that being said, do not take that out of context. I do not condone lying to consumers. But yes, his arms have always been asymmetrical, mainly due to his origin story, but also because of his main feature. Speaking of features, let's do that now. And honestly, he's got enough accessories to become a modern-day leader class instead of a Voyager, which is very impressive. And unlike some leader classes, he actually needs all this stuff to be accurate. First things first, we have this arm attachment that's been known to shoot a thing or two out of it, weld, and in other continuities, cut off legs. Alright, then you can switch this one out and start the gun show. And, oh yeah, we're starting to look a lot like RoboCop with this swappable weapon arm. It's also got a distinct look with having 3 barrels.
Your move, creep.
And then for those extra special moments, we have the Minicon activated weapon. That is no longer activated by a Minicon. It's as simple as manually flipping up a cluster of his roof on the back of his body, and now you have a shoulder cannon. But we want to go even further and rip it off his back and put it in his hand to become his full rifle. Just like Hotshot and Optimus, he got his entire features put back into him manually, which is awesome. And the last thing you can do, which I think is one of the most important features this thing could have, is you can store his little doodad thingies inside of his vehicle mode when you're going back to it, which is absolutely fantastic. These things are very easy to lose on the original, which is why mine doesn't have it. I bought it incomplete. But this is a fantastic feature to have on this guy. And just for my own edification, I'm going to go ahead and show this off. Oh yeah, it's so nice to have these guys finally all together. Red Alert's articulation is honestly just exceptional. The head is on a ball joint and a hinge, so you can go forward a ways, you can go back a ways, and you can go left and right, all around, you know, all the stuff it does. It's just a little bit irritatingly tight right now. I'm sure it'll fix over time, but the arms can go back like that because of transformation. They can go all the way around with a universal joint. You can go out, you can get double jointed elbows, and the doors will move. You've got a waist swivel as well. You've got outward movement. You've got forward with the legs. You've got back if you move the backpack all the way. You've got good knees. You've got the shin thing if you wanted to break it. I don't know why you'd want to do that, though. I don't think that'd be ever usable for practical poses. And the foot will go forward. The foot will go back. You can tilt very well with it. And you can use the heel if you wanted to. And really, he can stand very well without the heel. I don't really know why they added it in besides accuracy. But hey, this guy is very well articulated. I really could not be more pleased with it. Overall, this is one of the best Generations figures I have ever bought. It's also one of the best updates to an already existing design. The vehicle mode is on point, the robot mode is so faithful, and it's just fun to mess with. You have to check him out. The first wave of Age of the Primes looks very promising, and I cannot wait to find more, and I can definitely guarantee that there will be more reviewed on the channel. I can promise you guys we will be having more looks at more modern figures soon. With that being said, keep growing your collections. Treebot out.